Welcome to Newsbeacon, your trusted source for breaking headlines, global insights, and sharp analysis from around the world. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. If you've ever bought something online from overseas, whether it was a unique gadget, a rare collectible, or just a better deal than you could find at home, you've been part of a global shopping revolution. This story is for you, and for anyone who's ever tracked a package across continents, waiting for that little box of excitement to arrive at their door. For years, a little-known rule called the de minimis exemption let small packages from abroad enter the US without extra taxes or duties. This loophole fueled a boom in global e-commerce, making it easy and affordable for Americans to access products from all over the world, often at prices that local stores simply couldn't match. But as of August 29, 2025, that era is officially over. A new chapter in online shopping begins, and it's one that comes with more rules, more costs, and more uncertainty. The Trump administration has eliminated this exemption, sending shockwaves through the global supply chain and catching many shoppers and businesses off guard. The change is immediate and sweeping, already affecting everything from massive shipping hubs to the smallest online stores run out of someone's garage. Retailers, logistics companies, and even casual sellers are scrambling to adjust. This isn't just about tariffs, it's about your wallet, your shopping habits, and the choices you'll have as a consumer. The impact will be felt in every checkout cart and every delivery notification. The days of snagging a bargain from an international seller have fundamentally changed. What used to be a simple click-and-wait process is now a lot more complicated and potentially a lot more expensive. The price in your cart may no longer be the price you pay. New fees, taxes, and shipping costs could appear at the last minute, making it harder to know if you're really getting a deal. This is one of the most significant disruptions to online shopping in years, forcing everyone, from major retailers to everyday shoppers, to adapt to a new reality that's still unfolding. Tonight, we'll break down what happened, why it happened, and what it means for you and your family as you shop online in the months ahead. For millions of Americans, online shopping will never be the same. The end of this era marks the beginning of a new, more complicated chapter for anyone who loves to shop the world from their living room. The rule at the center of this upheaval was called the de minimis exemption. It set a value threshold, $800, below which goods could enter the US without duties, taxes, or complex customs paperwork. This allowed shoppers to buy from abroad without surprise fees and let international sellers access the US market easily. Companies like Shein, Temu, and countless small sellers thrived under this system, offering competitive prices to Americans. But critics argued it created a loophole, letting foreign companies, especially from China, undercut US retailers who had to pay duties. The tension between domestic and foreign sellers set the stage for today's dramatic policy reversal. What was once an obscure customs rule became a major economic battleground. Now, the playing field has changed. The end of the de minimis exemption was sudden and sweeping. For years, this rule had allowed millions of packages to flow into the United States without much hassle, fueling a boom in global e-commerce. But overnight, everything changed. With a single executive order, President Trump erased the $800 duty-free threshold for all countries, effective immediately. There was no warning, no gradual phase-in. The rules that had governed cross-border shopping for years were gone in an instant. Every package, regardless of value, is now subject to new rules and potential tariffs. Whether it's a $5 phone case or a $500 designer bag, each item faces scrutiny at the border. For 6 months, shippers can choose, though the options are far from simple. They can pay a percentage-based duty, which varies by country and product category, requiring careful calculation for every shipment. Or they can opt for a fixed fee, $80, $160, or $200, depending on the item's tariff rate. This fee is meant to simplify things, but it comes with its own set of challenges. The fixed fee system is simple but punishing for low-cost items. A $20 t-shirt could now cost $100 after fees. Suddenly, everyday goods became luxury purchases for many buyers. After 6 months, only the percentage-based duty remains, and every international seller must navigate complex US customs law for every package. The paperwork is daunting, and mistakes can mean costly delays or penalties. Only gifts under $100 in letters are exempt. Everything else, no matter how small, is caught in the new web of regulations. For everyone else, the era of easy, duty-free access to the American market is over. The shelves that once overflowed with international goods are now emptier, and many stores have closed their doors to U.S. customers. The message is clear. Global e-commerce just got a lot more complicated. Shipping routes are tangled, and warehouses are struggling to adapt to the new normal. Small sellers face a daunting new reality. Many are unsure if they can survive the added costs and paperwork, and some are already considering shutting down. The digital marketplace has been fundamentally rewired. What was once a seamless, borderless world of commerce is now a maze of rules, fees, and uncertainty. The numbers behind de minimis are staggering. Before the change, up to 4 million de minimis packages arrived in the U.S. every day, 92% of all cargo shipments by volume. In less than a decade, annual de minimis shipments exploded from 139 million to over 1.3 billion. The declared value in 2023 alone was $64 billion. This system was designed to manage a flood of small packages, focusing customs resources on larger shipments, but critics said the sheer volume made it easy for illicit goods to slip through. Now, with the exemption gone, every package faces full inspection and duty collection. Customs infrastructure, already strained, must process billions of additional entries. The result: higher costs, massive backlogs, and a system struggling to keep up. The global flow of goods has hit a bottleneck. The fallout was immediate and global. Within hours, postal services and shipping companies worldwide began halting US-bound shipments, fearing chaos and rejected packages. Major postal services in the UK, Japan, Australia, and more suspended shipments as they scrambled to adapt. In Europe, Deutsche Post and DHL stopped accepting US packages even before the order took effect. International mail facilities were scenes of confusion. With workers unable to send packages to the US, the world's shipping network, built on predictability, was thrown into gridlock by a single policy decision. The de minimis exemption was a cornerstone of global e-commerce. Its sudden removal left a vacuum of uncertainty. Now the world is waiting to see how and if it can reconnect with the US market. The hardest hit aren't big corporations but small businesses and everyday shoppers. For many small international sellers, the de minimis rule was their lifeline to US customers. Now, tariffs and paperwork threaten to put them out of business. A $150 wallet from a UK artisan could now cost over $230 after fees, doubling the price for American buyers. Many sellers are already pulling out of the US market, cutting off Americans from unique goods. For shoppers, this means higher prices, fewer choices, and long delays. The global marketplace the internet promised has suddenly shrunk. Hobbyists, academics, and families sending gifts all feel the impact. Large companies with US warehouses can adapt, but small creators face an existential threat. The dream of building a global business from your garage is now at risk. The Trump administration defends the policy on two major fronts: national security and economic fairness. Officials argue that the changes are not just about trade, but about protecting American communities and businesses from threats both seen and unseen. According to government sources, de minimis shipments have become a significant channel for smuggling illicit goods into the country. In fact, they account for 90% of all cargo seizures by value, including the majority of fentanyl, counterfeit electronics, and fake luxury items that end up on American streets. By requiring full customs documentation for every package, officials believe it will become much more difficult for criminals to sneak dangerous products past border controls. This extra layer of scrutiny is designed to catch illegal shipments before they can do harm. While the new rules may mean longer wait times and more paperwork for travelers and businesses, authorities insist that this inconvenience is a necessary price to pay for greater safety and security. On the economic side, the White House argues that the previous de minimis rule gave foreign companies an unfair advantage. By allowing them to bypass duties and taxes that U.S. retailers must pay, it created an uneven playing field and put American businesses at a disadvantage. Ending the exemption, supporters say, will help level the playing field, encourage fair competition, and ultimately support American manufacturing and jobs. They believe this move will strengthen domestic industries and keep more jobs in the U.S. The administration projects that these changes could generate as much as $10 billion in new annual revenue for the U.S. Treasury, money that could be used for infrastructure, education, or other national priorities. The ultimate goal is to rebalance trade, protect American jobs, and ensure that foreign companies are held to the same standards as their U.S. counterparts. It's about fairness, security, and the future of American industry. But this protectionist stance comes with real costs and real winners. While some celebrate the move as a victory for American workers, others worry about higher prices and strained international relationships. The debate over de minimis is far from over. Every policy shift creates winners and losers. U.S. retailers and manufacturers like Gap Inc. are the biggest winners, finally competing on equal terms with foreign e-commerce giants. The U.S. Treasury stands to gain billions in new tariff revenue. Large logistics companies like FedEx and UPS with expertise in customs may also benefit. But the list of losers is long. International small businesses, U.S. consumers facing higher prices and fewer choices, and global postal services now mired in logistical chaos. Some U.S. companies reliant on imported components will also feel the pain. The global marketplace has shrunk, and the economic pain is real. The policy benefits large, domestic-focused industries at the expense of small, globally connected businesses and the American consumer. The divide is stark. The new rules redraw the map of global commerce. The end of the de minimis exemption marks a turning point for online shopping and global trade. We're moving from a borderless digital marketplace to one defined by new walls and higher costs. In the short term, expect chaos, higher prices, and fewer international brands in the U.S. market. Large e-commerce players may invest in U.S. warehouses, but small businesses will struggle to survive. Other countries may retaliate, escalating trade barriers and unraveling decades of free trade. The internet may connect us, but policy can still sever those ties. The question now, do we value protection and security, or the convenience and choice of a global marketplace? The future of your digital cart and the global economy hangs in the balance,